In a remote village surrounded by thick jungle, a lion unlike any other stalks the night. Its eyes glow red, its roar paralyzes the soul, and its victims are found torn apart with symbols scorched into the earth. The elders whisper of a cursed beast, a devil in lion's form, unleashed by a forbidden ritual long buried. As fear grips the villagers, one truth remains. The devil lion is real. Let's uncover the full story. The summer I turned 13, my dad took me on a trip that would change the way I saw the world in nightmares. He works for a wildlife conservation group, and that year, his assignment took him deep into Zambia. I'd always dreamed of seeing wild animals up close, elephants, giraffes, maybe even lions. But I never imagined I'd learn about something far more terrifying, the devil lion of Mufue. We stayed in a quiet village called Mufue, nestled in the Luangwa River Valley. At first glance, it seemed peaceful, just small homes scattered among tall grass and thick trees. But beneath the calm surface, the locals remembered something dark. "Never go out after sunset," said our guide, Benson. His voice was low, his eyes fixed on mine. "This land has known fear." That night, gathered by the fire outside our guest house, Benson shared the tale that haunted the village. "It was 1991, he began, almost in a whisper. "I was just a kid, maybe your age." He nodded toward me. "Lions were once everywhere here. Hunters came from across the world to shoot them. They took too many, and what remained wasn't natural." He poked the fire, sending sparks flying up into the night sky. But nature has ways of fighting back. On the 9th of July of that year, something came to Mufue that we had never seen before. Benson told us how two boys were walking home in the evening when a huge lion appeared from nowhere. One boy was taken before he could even scream. The other ran for help, his eyes wide with fear, as he told about a lion bigger than any he had ever seen. "Rangers went looking with guns," Benson continued, "but they found only blood, no body, no lion. A few days later, the beast attacked again. This time, it attacked another child who was walking with an armed ranger. Even though the ranger shot his gun, the lion didn't stop. The boy died before they could get him to a doctor. The attacks kept happening. One night, the lion broke into a family's home. The father tried to fight it off with a cooking pot, but the lion was too strong. Both he and his young son were killed, while the rest of the family hid in terror. Another time, a teacher from the village school was walking back from collecting supplies when the lion struck. The children waiting for their lesson that day instead learned a horrible truth about the danger lurking in the tall grass around their homes. "How big was it?" my dad asked, writing in his notebook. Benson spread his arms wide, 3 meters or 10 feet from nose to tail, almost as tall as me, and its face. He shook a little. Its eyes were not like a normal lion. They burned with something we had never seen before. The attacks went on for months. The lion would come both day and night, breaking into homes and attacking anyone it found. One woman was taken from inside her hut when the lion broke through her wooden wall. 3 farmers working together in a field were attacked one after another when they got separated for just a few minutes. The villagers began to call it the devil lion. Many thought it wasn't a real animal at all. Our older people said it was the work of a man with magic powers, Benson explained. In our old stories, some men can turn into lions using evil spirits. They do this to punish people who have done wrong. I pulled my jacket tighter around me, even though the night was warm. "Was that true?" I asked. "Was it really a person?" Benson shrugged. "What we know is that the devil lion killed 18 people in our village and nearby areas. For months, we lived in fear. Kids could not play outside. Adults worked in groups, always watching the bushes. Everyone carried spears or axes to protect themselves. The village leader finally asked for help from people who hunt lions. 2 men named Wayne Hosek and Charles Bukes came to Mfu to find the creature. They set traps all around the village," Benson said. "For weeks, nothing happened. The lion seemed to know where the traps were. It kept hunting, but always avoided being caught. Then one night, everything changed. I remember hearing the shots," Benson said quietly. "Many shots. Then shouting. Everyone ran from their homes to see what happened. The hunters had finally killed the devil lion. When the villagers gathered to see it, they couldn't believe their eyes. It was exactly as people had described, very large, much bigger than normal lions. Its body had many scars from earlier hunts, and one of its teeth was broken. Some say that's why it hunted humans, Benson explained. Its injuries made it hard to catch normal animals to eat, but others still believe it was sent to punish our village for something wrong we had done. The next morning, Benson took us to the local school, where they kept pictures of the devil lion. When I saw the photos, my mouth fell open. The lion was huge, with a dark, full mane. Its eyes still looked fierce even though it was dead. "Is this real?" I asked, looking at the black and white photo of hunters standing beside the enormous body. "Very real," Benson nodded. "The devil lion of Mufue is now in a museum in America. You can still go see it." Later that day, we met an old man who said he had seen the lion with his own eyes. "I was working in my field when it walked by," he told us, his hands shaking a little as he spoke. "It looked straight at me, but it did not attack. I saw something in its eyes, something that was not like an animal." "What do you think it was?" my dad asked. The old man was quiet for a long time. "I think it was a message. Nature has a balance. When we destroy too much, something comes to remind us of our place." For the rest of our stay in Mufue, I couldn't stop thinking about the devil lion. At night, I would listen to the sounds outside our window, the moving grass, the faraway calls of animals, and wonder what else might be out there. On our last day, I asked Benson if he thought something like the devil lion could ever come back. He looked out across the valley before answering. "The people of Mufue respect lions now. We protect them, and they stay in their area. But there are still many hunters in other places, so who knows?" He smiled at me then, seeing my worried face. "Don't be afraid. The devil lion taught us an important lesson about respecting nature. Sometimes the scariest stories have the most important messages." Years later, I looked up the Mufue lion on the internet. It really is in a museum in Chicago. The man-eater from 1991 stands frozen in a glass case, still looking fierce, as Benson described. Scientists say it was just a very big lion with injuries that made it hunt humans because they were easy to catch. Sometimes, late at night, I remember what the old man said about balance and messages how nature has its own way of warning us when we've pushed too far. When I hear about people hunting for sport, tearing down forests, or driving animals from their homes, I think of the devil lion of Mufue, and I wonder, will nature ever send another reminder, another fierce symbol that we're not the masters of this world, no matter how much we pretend to be? Back in Mufue, they haven't forgotten. Life has returned to the valley. The lions are back, and the people share the land with them again, but there's a difference now. A quiet understanding. A respect forged in fear and memory. They don't talk about the devil lion every day, but the story still lingers, passed from one generation to the next like a whispered warning. As the sun sinks low and the shadows stretch across the fields, the village of Mufue changes. Parents begin to call out, voices cutting through the warm evening air. "Come inside now, it's getting late." And the children don't argue, they don't linger, they come running. Because in Mufue, nightfall still carries an echo of fear, a memory passed from one generation to the next. The children have all heard the story. They know what happened when too many lions were hunted for sport, when greed tipped the balance of nature. That's when it came, the devil lion, not just any lion. It was something different, larger, smarter, as if it had a purpose, as if it had come not to survive, but to punish. It stalked the land without fear, attacking with precision, as if it knew who to strike and when. It didn't act like an animal, it acted like something else entirely, something ancient, something sent. Now, decades later, Mufue is quiet again. Lions roam nearby, but no one dares take them for granted. There's a new kind of respect tone born not from admiration, but from understanding. The people here remember the cost of disrupting the wild. They know the land has its limits, its guardians, its messages. The devil lion isn't just a scary story, it's a warning etched into the heart of Mufue. Villagers speak of it in hushed tones, not with doubt, but memory. They believe the lion came as more than a beast, it was nature's vengeance, a force sent to restore balance after too much blood was spilled. Even now, when night falls, parents call their children inside, because in Mfue, they remember. The wild watches, it waits, and when pushed too far, it never forgets.